Well, hello everybody. Oh, actually, if you didn't see it, we can turn that on. Because the Dangerous is rather quiet. Since we're doing Elite Dangerous, and we're doing, some rather long runs on it, it should be entertaining. So where are we at? We are 200,000 light seconds from our next stop. But we are at the heart of NGC 7822, which is from Seoul. We are 2,800 light years. Really? It's not that bad. I went kind of a long way around to get here, but it's not bad. Found some new plants along the way, found some new systems along the way. So actually we're doing pretty okay. Our estimated revenue so far is somewhere around 25 million in system scans and about 10 million in biologicals. That was last I checked. That's before I came to the current system I'm in, which is rather impressive. This system has this absolutely beautiful O-type star. It has, this one here is a Y-type red dwarf, an L-type red dwarf, two L-type red dwarfs. This one here is an F-class and an M, with a really nice ring system around that one. You have this one over here, which is another M-class. This is where we're going now, it's this system. It's also got two black holes, one and two. So it's a lot busier system than I thought. I thought it was just two black holes and this type O star. I didn't realize that it had 5 more stars in it. It's crazy. Absolutely nuts. But around here, but around here, all these little blue stars here. This one here is, again, it's a type O. It's a black hole. This one here is just a type O. All these in this nebula are O-type stars. Many of them have black holes. That one's got a double black hole. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff in this particular. What is this weird one over here? It's all FK group. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. It's this little stream here of little blue stars. Most of them are O's of varying magnitude. From 0 to 5, I think. I haven't seen one bigger than 5. Doesn't mean there's not, I just haven't seen one. And we don't know how many more stuff are out there. But it's okay, it's cool. It's a very impressive system. There's actually a research station out here. Find the system bookmark. There it is. Right. This system actually has one carrier on it. That's all. What is this Gordon Research Facility? It's not a complete station. It doesn't have everything, but it has everything you need. It has everything you actually need in order to operate. So, it's really not that bad. But it's kind of nice. It's a nice little outpost that you can use as a resupply of vehicle base. I think there are several of them throughout the galaxy, near Nebulas and whatnot. But the trick is, they're hard to find, unless you know what you're looking for. I was coming to this system, and one of the guys that I talked to occasionally spotted off saying, "Hey, did you know there's a research base out there?" And I think, "Oh." And I thought it was just like a carrier or something hanging out. Nope, it's actually a full, legit research base. And then I just hit the wrong button. So yeah, it's actually pretty cool. It's always nice to have something interesting going on. But in this case, it's just a matter of making sure you know what you're looking at and where you're going. Because, you know, sitting out this far is always irritating. Unfortunately, when you're traveling this far, having something to do every day is... I don't know. What can I do when I have these long trips? Because they're not that long. Most of them are like 10 to 15 minutes. I started this before I started the stream. This I knew it was going to take a while. Don't know. Because, normally I would just go to something else. Yeah, watch this little shot like I'm... So here what we're going to do while we're waiting for this. Waiting for this, and let's see. Anything good? What do I have? What do I have that we could use as a filler? We have these long ones. I'm not sure. Something pausable or turn-based would be good. Because we can't have it take too long. You know, I get distracted by that. So action game really isn't do us any good. Fortunately, a lot of the games I have are action games. So it's not going to do us any good. Not sure. I'll happily take suggestions. But there's nobody in chat right now. Or there is, I think. There's gonna be people listening, but no one's chatting. So that's a huge difference. To get to it when we don't have anybody hanging out to help us know what's going on. It's not bad. Let's see. We're almost there. So out here, aside from a couple of black holes out in this area, This one here is the black hole. This one here is the black hole. This one here is the type O, which you can peel off of. We don't really care about peeling. This is the M-class star, which is going. And there's we're going to this one here. We're going to this M-class. It just changed color, which means... Alright, we got right into the M-class light bubble. That's why. Sup, 22? How are you doing today? Please keep me company. Just spent the last, 15 minutes talking to myself, flying 400,000 light seconds. It takes a long time to do that. I could have shortened the trip, but it actually goes about 20 minutes. I've been flying out here because I started before the stream started, but I didn't play with that. I was working on some other stuff. So how are you doing tonight? Got anything interesting going on today? This is going to take 6 probes. So 6 probes. Haven't been doing much. Got a cold. Oh, which ad. There's that. Survey says 71%. That's not bad considering I just shot 4 probes. We are not transporting, we are exploring. As we stand. Oh wait, hold on, let me finish this planet. We are out in NGC7822 right now. It is a stellar cluster filled mostly with type O blue stars and black holes. That's where we are. I'll show you once I finish this planet. Once I finish this planet scan, I'll show you on the map where we are and what we're looking at. I added up a few minutes ago. There it goes. Now, that one's the one that's not landable. So, here, so you're kind of short of life area. Kind of in the short life area of the galaxy. I'm in a nebula. This one is just one. This is the star system we're in. We have this big white blue giant. This is a brown dwarf. These are a pair of L-type brown dwarfs, which are the brighter ones. That's right. They do. And they either burn down into neutron stars, or they burn down into potentially black holes. In this case, we have this big blue. All of these, this is star, star, star. This one here is an F-type, which means it's young, hot, and annoying. This is an M. This is an M. But this one here is a black hole, and this one here is a black hole. It has 2 black holes and all these stars. Astronomically, eventually, all of this system will more than likely collapse into a single black hole at some point in the future. And probably be the center of either a massive black hole or a microgalaxy at some point. However, if we zoom out just a little bit, here are the nebula we're in. All of these blue dots are O-type stars in this whole area here. Many of them actually have black holes associated with them. Between 1 and 2 black holes. Like, I think this one here has 1 black hole. Yeah, it's got 1 black hole. I think the one next to it has like 2. That's 1. Here's 2 black holes, and so on. And this over here is a no-type of the black hole. This is just a no-type. Yeah, it's a lot of little black holes. A lot of little black holes in this area. But when you think about the galaxy as a whole, you're about 2,800 light years from Sol, which is over here. Over the course of the week, I went around this way. Okay, I went around this loop here. Came down here, went out to here, and came this way. I have not decided if I'm going to continue exploring after this nebula, or if I'm gonna head back. I have enough materials that I could actually upgrade my ship so I can actually make better. I got the materials that I can do like better runs later, go deeper, faster, that kind of stuff. I think with what I have and a little bit of tweaking and a little research, I can get to where I can get around 70 light years per jump, 75 light years per jump. Right now I'm at 45. That's a lot of tweaking in order to do it. And right now we're just kind of collecting data in this cluster. We'll be here. I'll probably be in this cluster most of the week. That's what I'm thinking. If you look around, all those blue stars, that's this nebula. All those blue stars, that's the outside of this nebula. It's actually pretty slick. I did some transporting earlier in the week. I did some cargo runs early in the week. So we're sitting at 466 million, give or take, which isn't too bad. I did spend 15 million at the outpost nearby. That's because I wanted some standing out there. Stuff like this really makes me wonder if there's going to be a giant robotic fleet flying around the galaxy, sucking up resources in areas like this, because eventually the areas will probably be too dangerous to enter into. The interesting part about autonomous replicating robotic fleets is that if somebody was to have built an autonomous replicating robotic fleet, then we would see evidence of it, because they would literally be throughout the whole galaxy within a few thousand years. Because you figure, if you're going to do a harvesting fleet, it would go somewhere, it would set up the mining and processing and local harvesting fleet around a solar system. And it would use some low gravity bodies, like say Earth's moon or moons around Jupiter or Saturn. Collect all the resources there. Build the go-home ships. And send them back. But they would also build additional ships that would go forward to collect more resources. And if you figure if they can replicate that even once every, let's say, 50 years. Okay. Every 50 years you'd be sending out a new fleet. And let's say that fleet can only go half the speed of light. Once you get to about 50 to 100,000 years, the whole galaxy would see at least some of this activity. And when you get to 500,000 years, the galaxy would be littered with these things all over the place. They might be dead, husks of whatever, but you'd see it in every solar system or elements thereof. It's actually a thing in Star Sector and Stellaris. Yep, they use it a lot in those types of games. They use it because it works well. You just have to think about the time scale. But you could honestly colonize the whole galaxy in less than 500,000 years by using replicator robotic fleets. This is in theory anyway. It's how the math works out. Because the whole galaxy is only what? 100,000 light years across? Give or take? And that's like going to the absolute perimeter of it. Let's finish this. Really. I missed the ring. Thanks. What do we have today? We have a biologic. Sweet. Let's go find it. Now, let's see. Where's the sun? It's over there. Gotta get under the sun. There's the sun side. Pretty much the whole planet. Sweet. This is easy to find. Have you run into any solar systems with 2 habitable planets? I did find one solar system that somebody else already discovered that had an Earth-like and I think a water world. And I've run into a couple of systems that have like at least 2 water worlds. Found a couple that it listed as terraformable. But I'm trying to think outside of the core worlds if I've seen one that has more than 1 habitable planet. And I don't think so. I don't think I've seen one that's got more than 1 outside of the core worlds. Like I said, I've seen it to where we've got a couple of water worlds now. Well, that's the thing, is that water worlds aren't always inhabitable. some water worlds aren't inhabitable at all due to contamination. So, like, for example, if you have a high water world, good on me for paying attention to that. That was almost bad. No, we're not talking about inhabited. We are definitely talking about habitable. Dude. Alright, this planet must have some serious gravity. What is this planet's issue? This planet has an issue. I'm wondering what it is. Is it high gravity or something? Let's see. No, it's low gravity. Low Earth, low gravity. I don't know. My controls have been kind of weird the last day or so. You know, all day today. Yeah, I know, right? And we're having one hell of an issue. I'm not seeing our biomarkers. I wasn't having this many issues with drift. I wonder if it's drift. I wonder if it's controller drift. It's possible. It's just bouncing around with things. No, come on. I'm currently looking at the tool that monitors the data. Huh? Well, he says it's not my controllers. It's definitely the game being wonky. No dead zone on the thrust is fine. No dead zone there, which is fine. No dead zone there is fine. I need to make sure that okay. Here's do you think there would be an age of piracy in space? Or do you think there'll be an expansive, there's no way someone could afford that? Well, there will always be piracy. That's a look for. This will work. One thing to keep in mind is piracy will be a problem. And we have piracy problems now, and think about it. If you look at the United States as it stands right now, we have criminals going out of their way to rob stores in broad daylight. And they take those resources out to some black market somewhere and sell them off That is piracy. In the simplest form, that's what piracy is. So you think about it, even right now in our world, as peaceful as our world is, you know, we have piracy. So it's not like it's going to go away. However, I think in a world of space, piracy would probably become more common. Kind of like it was back when during the Age of Exploration. Because you have different corporations, countries, powerful individuals that are going to be trying to profit from anything they can, even if it's to save from each other. You find a rich, metal-rich world that's got, you know, billions of tons of some mineral that's, you know, that's highly needed. You're gonna have to protect it. You're gonna need military escorts, but sometimes those escorts aren't gonna be enough. Or if it's a stable area, you might think, oh, we don't need escorts anymore. And now you have piracy. Or you have the cheap people who just want to make as much money as possible, and they don't care about the losses, because your losses, I can afford it. And I think that way. I think about how much shrink we just write off in retail centers around the world. And that's just being stolen by, you know, employees usually. It's considered, it's okay. In the world that is a giant cactus. Yeah. I don't know what this thing is. It's like a sea anemone or something. I don't get it. It's what they decided to populate this planet with. Yes. This particular planet. This particular planet has no volcanic activity. A little bit of surface metal. What is your atmosphere? Surface temperature, volcanism. It has an atmosphere, I think. I'm sorry, this one has no atmosphere. This has got a no atmosphere. Oh, let me know when you're back. And I'll catch you up. As normal. And grab our last sample. Store that bad boy. Welcome back. So as I was saying before you went to a commercial, this planet does not have an atmosphere, though most do if they have some form of life on them. It does remind you that this game does not care what you think your perceptions are. I didn't think there was anything that could live in a no atmosphere environment, but apparently there is. So, go figure. I thought they had to have an atmosphere. I didn't realize they could live without an atmosphere. So, there is that. Get on board the ship. This would be a major breakthrough in the scientific community. What the hell is without an atmosphere? Well, the question is, why do you need an atmosphere? That's something that you have to answer. We have an atmosphere in our world, and life has grown here with that in mind. With an atmosphere, you have a liquid cycle. But see, there's your mistake. Our world has a high oxygen atmosphere, and in the past had an extraordinarily high oxygen atmosphere, because the organisms that developed on our planet were able to process carbon and oxygen in enough variety in order to be able to actually develop a stable atmosphere, most of which was given to us by comets and meteors, more than likely. So when you think about it that way, everything here has grown up in an oxygen environment. There are anaerobic bacteria and such that thrive without oxygen that still exist, and those are the first ones, but they threw it away as a waste product. Now, interestingly enough, a planet that's too small to have an atmosphere like this one, like our moon, could actually have anaerobic type bacteria living on it, or it could be aerobic. It could actually use oxygen and water, but it would recycle it within its own ecology. So that plant that we're looking at might be a complete ecosystem that just collects trace amounts of minerals or gaseous material, maybe the solid material, and breaks it down inside of the pod. The pod protects it from the heavy radiation, or it could be maybe a silicon or boron based, which means that the heavy radiation might actually be used as energy, kind of like the photonic energy in sun, what we use here to make plants, where it uses the rays of our sun. Maybe they use gamma rays or X-ray ranges in order to generate the same reactions that our plants use for photosynthesis. We have no way of knowing what the conditions would be to create something like that, but there's a lot of interesting concepts that when you remove the limit of an oxygen-nitrogen atmosphere from your thinking, you can come up with ways that things can live without it. Because maybe they just do it in their own body. Inside the colony of coral or whatever, and it processes. It's like, if you look at our major cities, they have a waste processing center, they have they have power plants, they have water collection, reclamation services, and so on. All that kind of stuff happens inside of our cities every day. Or usually outside, but you get the point. We do it all the time with our current technology. If you take all of that capability and say you're using multiple bacteria colonies or something similar to do it within a single organism, then you could actually have a respiratory-like system that creates oxygen and processes waste fluids, like wastewater, to remove the ammonia and use the ammonia for something. And another system that takes the carbon dioxide generated by respiration, moves that to, say, the surface, so it can go through a photosynthesis-like effect to convert it back into an oxygen-based molecule that it can process. and so on and so forth. You know, it's like there's a lot of different ways that the ecosystem could work inside a closed system. You just have to think outside the box. And nature doesn't care. Hell, there's organisms that live on the bottom of our oceans under insane pressures. Absolutely insane pressures. That have no light and generate all of their energy based on volcanic vents. The same principle could exist in an environment like that. There's all kinds of crazy logic that can get put into it. And that's assuming that what we have for life, using, you know, oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, and so on, is the only method that actually works. And no other methods are possible. Which is a very narrow scientific stance to be on. Anytime you're in science and you don't take into consideration everything else in the universe being different from you, or thinking differently, or using a slightly different process, or a completely different process, then you're just thinking too narrow. Wait, now, have we detected anything in reality? No. Not to mention what you can use these organisms for, to maybe jumpstart an atmosphere on a planet. Not to mention anything. Exactly. It's just, when you look at just what we know about our planet's history, there is a very distinct evolutionary line, which is theoretically possible for any other planet with similar conditions to create either a water planet or an Earth-like planet which has lots of land as well as lots of water with similar composition, atmospheres, and so on. The interesting part about that is we don't know if they would create organisms that would be what we would consider compatible with organisms from our world. And by compatible, we mean like viruses and bacteria and whatnot. For all we know, the bacteria from a world like that may be absolutely catastrophic to us, or the other way around, where you land on it, it's like, oh, everything looks great. Samples look good, everything in the lab's fine, but then somebody goes out there with the food or malaria or something like that, ends up contaminating something in their ecosystem, and that what we would consider very minor contamination could actually collapse the whole ecosystem of the planet within a couple hundred years, because that virus is so foreign to it, it has no way to cope with that. It's the stuff like that that makes you, gets you terrified. I don't even know if quarantine would be possible. The reason I say that is, if you go take a microbiology class, inside of your body, there are literally thousands of viruses and bacteria that are completely harmless to you. Your body needs them. The organisms that come out in your waste, the organisms that come out in your bleed. If you get too drunk and you leave your alcohol on the side of the road, here, no big deal. But on a planet that's never had, you know, those types of organisms on there, those very benign organisms that would normally just die off in a day or two, could completely contaminate a region, killing off potentially, miles, square miles or square kilometers of a planet's surface because one guy got too drunk and didn't make it to the bathroom in time. It is quite a terrifying concept when you take into consideration everything that could possibly go wrong from a biology perspective. That's why the best worlds for us to colonize are ones that have no life, and then take the time period to actually terraform them. Bios? We have 2 bios on this planet. That sounds rough. Alright, maybe we'll get lucky. We are on the white side of the planet. Sweet. Going down. Because in reality, quarantine would not be effective at all. They always have in those science fiction movies like Star Trek or whatever, where they have this quarantine protocol that removes the foreign body bacteria or whatever from the surface of you. But it doesn't take into consideration, what if you inhaled it? What if it was like a cold, flu, or whatever that you inhaled? Airborne bacteria and viruses are just as problematic as contact-based ones. Ooh, we have a desert planet. That's cool. Oh, look, we have algae. Ooh, we got enough algae. I think we got enough algae here. Between the spot below us, the one on the front right, and the one on the far front left and on the front right, I think it'll be okay. But then we need to figure out what the other plant is. Alright. Let's grab the buggy. You know what I just thought about? Remember I was commenting that the controls might actually have an issue. It's possible that it's the zero out. It's causing us problems. Ooh. Now, there's one. Here. There it is. Oh, it's brown. It's a brownish green color. Okay. That's gonna make the mold a little hard to see, but instead of looking for it. There it goes. So there's the mold. All right. Sweet. Now get off, and we're gonna pick up our mold samples. Collect that mold sample. This one's probably going to be the same cluster. So do you think we'll be using robot probes on inhabitable worlds completely sterilizing vacuum sealed? I don't know, honestly. My thinking is it's going to be more like we're going to find planets like Mars or Venus, and then actually colonize those. But it's hard to say. I think that's it over there. Because there was one just in front of the ship. And there was one off to the right. And unfortunately, this thing does not have very good jump jets. I think this is it over here. Where's the guy as the ship takes off and you have to collect it there? Is that it? No? That's not what it is. Alright. Let's look around. Remember, drive. Oh, there it is. Drove past it. Drive responsibly. But this is a desert planet. This is easy. This is one of those that it's not a hard planet to drive on. I can drive irresponsibly on this planet and probably not total my ride. To be honest. Alright. And that's 2. Now we do know there's one more this way. There's the ship there. It's that hill. You kind of see it fungoing on top of the hill. And flip it over. Curious, in the game, is Luna colonized by humans, considering it would be humanity's major ship, shipwreck. You know what? I don't... Oh, sorry. I can tell you. I actually went to Seoul the other day. Earth is colonized, I think. Yeah, it's got some colonies on it. got orbital colonies, but you can't land on it. But you can land on Mercury, strangely enough. They don't let you land on the Moon, Earth. Mars has been terraformed. You can land on Europa, Ganymede, Callisto. Io they won't let you land on, but it's got an orbit. Enceladus, Tethys, Dione, Rhea, and Iapis, you can all land on. Well, wait, you can't land on Titan. The Titan's been colonized. It's got Space City. Around Uranus, Ariel, Umbrella, Titania, and Oberon are all landable. Neptune, Triton. What's wrong with Triton? Okay, so Triton requires a permit to land on, which I don't own. And then there's the Plutoids. Pluto, Charon. Pluto has actually been colonized. Believe it or not, Pluto has an atmosphere. Been colonized. But you can land on all the Plutoids. Titan's an oil world. Basically, I don't remember if Titan, what's known about all the little moons around the different gas and ice giants, because there are so many of them. And when you think about it, both Jupiter and Saturn have like 40 or 50 moons each. And it's not like the asteroid belt size, rocks. No, we're talking like full-on huge moon-sized moons or bigger. Some of them are the size of Mars. It's crazy. I don't remember. Titan is an interesting world. I had to think about it. Titan actually is the only other celestial body in the solar system that has a liquid cycle that we know of, aside from Venus. We know Venus has one, but it's weird. Venus reigns vary by altitude, and those particular rain consists of like sulfuric acid, phosphine, and a couple of weird stuff. However, Titan is an interesting one because Titan actually has a full liquid cycle on it. But it's not water. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Titan isn't a water planet. It's methane. It's all hydrocarbons. But it's not long chain hydrocarbons like oil or gasoline, like oil is, or natural gas. It's methane carbonates. So it's it's super short chains. Not quite as short as water, but it's super short chain stuff. And it's a little nuts. But yeah, no, Titan basically, based on its chemical composition, has enough burnable fuel to be able to keep all of our power generation at its current levels for like the next 10,000 years. Or something silly like that. If you were to burn it. It's crazy. The other ones that are nuts are Io, Enceladus, Europa, and those ones I remember off the top of my head. They're weird because all of them also have water cycles, but they have actual water cycles, not just a liquid cycle. They actually have the water geysers and so on that, you know, eject fluid into the air. Extending and creating ice caps and so on. There's some pretty crazy stuff. Now, we've got the mold. This planet has two different biologics on it. So we gotta see if we can find whatever the other biologic is. Hopefully we discover an alternative like helium-3. My landing gear should not be down. Jeez. That caused me all kinds of grief. My landing gear's down. Well, that's the thing, is helium-3 would solve a lot of our problems, power generation-wise. The problem we have is the only known source of helium-3 is on the moon. And a vast number of people don't want anybody harvesting the moon for some strange reason. So, we don't know what that's about. We have that. Oh, commercials, I'm sorry. Let's get us back up to an actual altitude, please. This bob is killing me. Didn't have this problem on other planets for the last couple of days. Shoot, now all of a sudden I have this bob and it's driving me nuts. The thing is, I don't remember if I had it before I came into these black hole systems or not. It's also like it's just Windows being weird. Back, well, it basically turned the oil industry into plastic industry helium-3. Yeah, no, and plastics are basically on an out anyway because there's a huge push to try and find an alternative to plastics. There's been a huge push for like bioplastics for a couple of years now. So that we can use less resources that are toxic or have issues breaking down. Megacron, how are you doing today? I'm doing okay. I'm just trying to find some, this other bio on this planet. The nose down approach is not doing well today. The system's acting all kinds of weird. So, I can't do that. I've got that greenish blue mold already. We're just trying to figure out what the other one is on this planet. Because I don't know what I'm looking for. Maybe the North or South Pole of the planet. Who knows? You never know with this. I mean, I could look up possibilities. There's a site that people have put together, like a lot of possible options. And I do use it occasionally. However, I think I like your idea. I think we'll go back to orbit. And we'll find ourselves another spot to come down and look at. Because it's actually a good idea. I like it. Get ourselves up into the atmosphere here. Downward drift. I know that. That's actually a drift in my controller. So the yaw on this one. Not the yaw. Pitch needs to have that. Otherwise it drifts. It's off just a little. And it's a nuisance. So that is the stellar ring. So we want to go this way. And I think we'll go just north of that white spot. What about that? I think that's what we'll got. I think that's gonna be a good place for it. That puts us farther north than we were. Because I came in around the equator-ish area. So that puts us closer to the pole, which should be a colder region of the planet. So we'll have a different temperature gradient, which might change our results. But yeah, no. The whole idea of finding life on other planets, we will find it. The question is, when we do find it, will it be compatible with our own? Because when you look at like Enceladus or Europa, for examples, both of them they're an ice world. But the surface of the ice is 1 or 2 kilometers thick. But underneath that is a liquid ocean. Now, I think in one case we know that's water, and in another case we know it's like Titan, where it's a methane-based ocean underneath the ice. So there are different environments that we know of that have that. And for the example, for Europa, which has a water-based ice environment that we do know gets warm enough to burst out in geysers. That particular environment could actually harbor life, which is really interesting. I just hope the first time we find a habitable planet, it's not a nuclear wasteland or a copper brass world. Honestly, I wouldn't care. You know, when we find a habitable planet, if it's a you know, whatever it is, it'll be interesting. And that's all I have to say about that, is it's going to be interesting when we find it. Just imagine that one planet that I found that had like 4 bios on it. I found like 2 of them right away, and the other 2, I don't remember if I ever found them. Right. I gotcha. I got you. It's a fungal pod. Alright, I found the pod. I found it. Yeah, it's right in front of me. See? It's that little ball pod thing. It's easy to harvest. Now that I know what I'm looking for and where it is, there's several around this area, so it's not that big of a deal. If I go straight, there'll be more of them. Alright, let's get in range here. Oh, I can't do that because I'm too close to the shop. They actually only have, I think, 5 or 6 different organic structures. There's not a lot. It's actually pretty small. Like that particular structure, you'll find it in a wide range of colors. And there's like 10 or 20 known colors for any of the biomes. And there's like, I said, there's a handful of them. Well, a handful of looks anyway, they used. So you'll see a lot of duplication in visuals. However, from a game perspective, it does 2 things. First, it makes it easy to deal with. As you shall receive, this has got purple spots. See? Purple spots. Just for you. Don't do that. Let's take a screenshot. Purple spots, just for you. And I'm gonna go over here to that cluster of like 4 of them and grab my last bio sample, and then we're off. So So like I said, we've seen, since we started, we've seen the mold, and we've seen this particular structure. We have not seen the fan coral yet. And those are the three that I've seen recently. And I think there's a couple more visuals. I think there's one that looks kind of like a tree. And I forget. I forget what the last one looks like. I think it's a puddle. I think it's an actual like puddle. So the algae bloom is described as a puddle too. But I think it's actually more like a like water type puddle, I think. There we go. And it's parked the rover. Thankfully, out here in this particular system, there is a NPC built research outpost out here. Not in this system, it's in this region though. I'll show you what's that. It's not a complete starbase, but it is complete enough. It's actually a colonized system. Maybe uploading some stuff to make some money? Yes. Not today. Right here. This system. This particular system has right here the Gorgon Research Facility, which is an asteroid that's been hollowed out. And most of these landable planets have like a colony on them. Usually one. So you can do both Horizons and Odyssey activities in this system on top of everything else. I have not gone through and mapped all these planets in this system. I've been to several of them. I haven't mapped them all. But we're here. And it's just a hop jump away. It's fantastic. Alright, let's get off this planet. Figure out what we have left in this system. Because I think we still have a couple more planets in this system to map. Once we actually get shifting, we'll be able to check. An inhabited system, yeah. There's a couple of them throughout the galaxy. And Frontier set them up in such a way that, as an example, this one's by this particular nebula cluster, but it's actually pretty close to a couple of other nebulas. This Cave Nebula over here, the Elephant's Trunk Nebula isn't that far away. The North American Nebula is, these are pretty high. These are, what? 2,000 light years away? Give or take. But they put these out here periodically so that the players can actually repair and refit in the field. Because originally you couldn't repair and refit at all. It was very common for players to actually go towards like Sagittarius A in an attempt to make it through the core, and they end up blowing up halfway, on the way there. It was a very common problem. Alright, where's that gonna go? 32%. So put one there. That gives us 57%. Not too bad. According to the lore, flying around the Elite Dangerous universe are a couple things of very interesting importance. First, we have the Thargoids, which recently invaded the habitable bubble, the inhabited bubble. Let's put it that way, the inhabited bubble. And the last attack was on Earth. That ended just before Christmas. The other thing that we know about that's out in the universe that players, in theory, could find, though no one has ever found one, is a sublight colony ship. Because apparently, according to the lore, back during the first colonization era, before FTL drives were created, before our lovely frameshift drives were in use, they sent out slowboat colony ships that were going slower than the speed of light. Now, in theory, it's only been, I think it's several hundred years, if not maybe 1,000 years, past our current era. So all of those ships would be within the habitable bubble somewhere. And they wouldn't be out this far. They did successfully beat back the Thargoid invasion. And there are now Thargoid hulks all over the place. And if you have the resources and money, you can go buy the anti-Thargoid equipment. And you can outfit your ship so that you can go collect resources from them. There's also smaller Thargoid ships that are supposedly running around the galaxy that you can get into a scuffle with. But I think that's down in Pleiades. I think that's what I read. Was the Thargoids came from the Pleiades sector. I am nowhere near Pleiades, so I don't have to deal with even the potential of a Thargoid ship. So I'm not running with any of the anti-Thargoid equipment. I'm also not running with any spicy container holds. Because I'm just not doing it. Well, it's Thargoids. The Thargoids do not see humanity as a sentient species. They just see us as a plague, like any other organic life form. They send their colony stuff down to colonize worlds for their life, and their life is extraordinarily toxic to the rest of organic life as we know it. No. What is a really great way of phrasing this? I'm trying to think of a parallel in science fiction. I'm drawing a blank. Let me think here. Think semi-sentient space function. Semi-sentient or sentient space fungus. Something along those lines. That's about the best thing that I can come up with off the top of my head. They use bioships and when they send out, like the dreadnoughts they sent out to try and destroy Earth, was like the size of half the moon. They are huge. But if you have the right kind of weapons, which you can buy, and if you have the right kind of armor and cargo holds and so on, you can actually collect the Thargoid bits and bobs, and then use that to generate more equipment. Now, I'm looking to see if I can find some more of these fungal pods. There. Without having to take off and land again. Because it's such a pest to find stuff on some planets. Yuzhan Vong, not really. Yuzhan Vong is an insectoid race. That just consumes everything. But yeah, you could go with Yuzhan Vong, you could go with, I just had it. Another culture ships. Yeah, exactly. I don't even know if the Thargoids have a culture. They're just a plant / fungus type species that replicates through spore colonies and such. It's a tough parallel because it's a very... The writers, when they invented the Thargoids back in the 80s, for the original Elite games, came up with the idea, and it's just way out there. But Elite Dangerous is the first one that allows you to actually leave the habitable sphere. Because all the other Elite games are within the sphere, and it's always you against humans. And if I remember correctly, Elite Dangerous is the first one to actually go into the Thargoid war. But we do have, if you're interested in reading, a whole... is it not here? xenohunting. So the xenohunting section is all about Thargoids. And I thought there was a knowledge section. Yeah, here it is. So this section of the in-game lore section will actually play out all the information on Thargoids. And the other one is in the pilot's handbook under xenohunting. This explains how to fight them. So there's all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Hold on, I think the question I wonder is, can I tell it to play those entries? Oh wait, add to playlist.
The Thargoids. Human Thargoid contact. The Thargoids are a non-human race with a history of hostility towards humanity. The first recorded encounter with a Thargoid ship took place in 2849, although earlier undocumented encounters are believed to have taken place. In the years that followed, contact with lone Thargoid vessels was intermittently reported. Humanity clashed with the Thargoids in the 32nd century, but details of the conflict remained scarce for many years, and it proved difficult to differentiate authentic accounts of Thargoid encounters from the sensationalist media stories of the time. The discovery of abandoned intergalactic
Here we go, we'll just play it out the story.
in 3303
Let me know if you can hear it.
the fog, however. The INRA, a joint federal imperial initiative established in 3193, was responsible for researching the Thargoids and developing technologies to counter their aggression. But the organization's lack of accountability meant that the details of its research did not come to light until years after its dissolution. Almost all of the reliable data concerning the Thargoids has been sourced from INRA facilities.
It's hard to say if they actually have that or not.
Highly confidential, was declassified in 3304, following a resolution from the federal government and an imperial decree. Some controversy over the backing and funding of the INRA remains, however.
The commercial strike back.
The Thargoids.
I thought I...
The Thargoids. Society. The INRA discovered that Thargoid society is organized into hives, with most Thargoids
Just in time for the society.
categories: queens, princesses, and drones. Queens function as reproducers, while drones serve to maintain a favorable environment for the rest of the hive. Thargoid hives can be vast, although it may be that some of the larger observed groups are in fact multiple, overlapping hives. Ultimately, little is known for sure. The average Thargoid queen is at least as intelligent as a human.
Hold on, I might have to... Well, let me get this done real quick and we'll go back. Apparently it doesn't play when I'm outside of the ship.
Big, while the typical drone possesses a more rudimentary level.
At least it auto pauses.
Existing evidence suggests that queens have extremely long lifespans, living for hundreds or even thousands of years. The variable size of queens' neurocraniums suggests this might be an indicator of age. Little is known about the precise nature of Thargoid reproduction, but it is likely that queens can reproduce both sexually, with other queens, and asexually. It is thought that the latter method produces drones, while the former produces a new queen. Analysis of Thargoid specimens led some INRA researchers to believe that a new queen, or princess, becomes a full queen only once it has produced drones of its own. Significantly, queens are believed to be single-sex. The Thargoids' ability to reproduce asexually means that their populations can expand incredibly quickly, but it is thought that they deliberately restrict the size of the populace so as to not to deplete all available resources. There is evidence to suggest that this is sometimes achieved by culling older drones. INRA testing indicated that queens perceive drones as entirely expendable, presumably due to the ease with which they can be replaced. Indeed, a Thargoid queen appears to give no more thought to the loss of a drone than a human would an eyelash. The Thargoids. Communication. The belief that Thargoids were capable of some form of extrasensory communication was often cited in the early years of
Drive assist off.
I love these little,
human Thargoid interaction. But prior to the discovery of INRA records,
the little audio blurbs.
Professor Yuri Anslow
Landing gear retracted.
INRA theorized that a Thargoid queen can communicate with the drones in its hive via a spread-spectrum electronic signal, and can use this signal to control the drones, and even to shift
Frameshift drive charging.
their sensory input. Studies
I am 109 jumps from Radigo. That would it be abnormal to be doing that many jumps?
suggests
No.
a kind of near-instantaneous communication among Thargoids, and the presence of low-level radio noise in areas occupied
Not
by
really.
Thargoids
I am
do indeed communicate via short-range electronic
2,800
Professor Anslow
light years
Queen could
from the Earth system,
through its drones, but her
which
contemporaries
puts
were
me
skeptical, dismissing the assertion as baseless. One of the galaxy's foremost experts on the
about 50 jumps out, 150 to 60 jumps out with my jump drive.
Thargoids have been known to make staccato clicking noises with their mouthparts when in the presence of humans, punctuated with occasional hisses and buzzes. They've also been observed directly
God, I love these bugs.
at one another, albeit much less frequently. Professor Albert Tesreau, a founding member of the Joint Superpower Initiative, AEGIS, and a specialist in interspecies communication, has studied INRA audio logs and suggested that the sounds probably represent some kind of language due to the repetition of certain sound combinations.
Okay, so what do we got?
Why the Thargoids would sometimes choose to communicate with each
I
other,
know a lot of people who
given their
are
capacity for extrasensory communication.
actually really far out.
Suggested that the sounds
They'll jump
could be designed
20, 30,000
or opponents.
light years
Thargoids often produce
and then,
these
come back.
Thargoid ships have been observed emitting a complex array of sounds.
So you could be out there in problems. Just making sure that spot is repeatable passenger spot, right?
Different emotional states.
Oh, are you doing a,
Pilot and amplified by the ship, by the ship itself.
one of those passenger exploration jobs? They want you to go out to like certain star systems that are,
Between pilot and vessel. Given the
sometimes thousands of light years away
bioengineering, however, it is
from wherever you started
sounds
to go sightseeing and then come back.
and that Thargoid ships
I saw those and I'm like, I did a couple of those when the game first came out. And it's like, this is not worth it.
with one of several.
The rep isn't worth it. The money isn't worth it.
Complete.
The meaning of which is unknown. Some have theorized that they
But
could denote
they're fun.
membership of a particular familial group.
It does take you out to certain places that you've never been,
Rank.
and that's cool. But
The
it's really not.
physiology. Human understanding of
The
Thargoid physiology.
mission to take you out there isn't.
Recovered INRA data has offered some insights.
It isn't worth it. But if you're doing exploration missions,
Describe the average Thargoid
it does give you a path to go out
and generate
to do a lot of exploring and come back.
Thargoid biology is
And
carbon-based.
number of jumps doesn't really matter. What matters is the number of light years.
Is based on ammonia rather than water.
It's all
Consequently,
about.
while Thargoids comfortably tolerate environments
All it's about is a sweet, sweet exploration, man. Experience, man. Yeah, exactly.
5 degrees Celsius for long.
It's all about the experience that you're getting along the way.
An INRA researcher, Thargoids can survive for a significant time in the vacuum of space without apparent discomfort, and can tolerate radiation and extreme.
Surface scanned by 50.
Just finished.
for far longer than a human.
That was so fun.
The Thargoids.
I'm just watching you on my tablets. My wife has
The
autocorrect on.
biological
No, that's
virus
fine.
known as the mycoid virus.
It's all
used
good.
Against the Thargoids. The virus was the result of an accidental discovery made by an INRA researcher, who noted that a particular strain of fungus was found to thrive on the hulls of Thargoid vessels, and appeared to be digesting the material of which the ship was made.
I gotcha. The global map is been bugging out on me. About to, yeah,
The mycoid
it does that sometimes.
effects on both, leading to the swift elimination of
But yeah, the question is, how many light years are you from
space at the time.
wherever you started?
It is widely assumed that since the last human Thargoid,
That's the big question.
the Thargoids have developed an immunity to the mycoid virus. The Thargoids, starships. In terms of structure and function, Thargoid vessels are
I love
radically
the whole story elements that they've
and are able to
gone
navigate
through and written and fully voice acted.
that are not fully
They're
understood.
fantastic.
They are also
Surface scan complete.
And the biological.
organic, meaning that they can self-repair or heal over time. Ship function in general, and this restorative ability in particular, have been shown to be dependent upon the so-called Thargoid heart, a biomechanical organ found in varying quantities in different Thargoid ships. These hearts often survive the destruction of the ship,
Orbital flight engaged.
Gotcha, the global map. Yeah.
salvaged, although they can also be targeted and damaged with appropriate weaponry. They are highly corrosive, however, and require special containers for safe transport.
Yeah, everything Thargoid requires special containers.
Sustained combat damage exhibits scar-like patterns. Given that Thargoid technology is sophisticated enough for such damage to be repaired, it follows that the Thargoids might deliberately choose to preserve these scars.
Snowwater?
Document an encounter with a Thargoid mothership many times larger than
Uh,
Thargoid craft.
not on this planet. This planet's just a
Was successfully
desiccated husk. This is a brown mud ball.
Although no such vessels have been reported in recent times.
Yeah, no, there are no such vessels have been reported in recent times. Yeah, that's
Dozens of planets
changed.
in human-occupied space are peppered with Thargoid barnacles, biological resource extractors that convert minerals into meta-alloys, a key component in the creation of Thargoid vehicles and technology. Theories that these barnacles have been genetically engineered by the Thargoids have yet to be
When are you coming down to look?
Larger structures, referred
Yeah,
to as
that's
Thargoid
the-
surface sites, have also been discovered.
That
Sites
blue
typically consist of
field
spiral-shaped
is the
structures
areas that it detected
beneath which
either
lies a
geological or biological.
At the heart of this
anomalies.
scientific network is a device that, once activated, emits a holographic star map. The sites are patrolled by semi-sentient biomechanical entities called scavengers. The Thargoids.
Oh, this is
War with
a
the
history.
Guardians. Archaeological records have revealed that the extinct, non-human civilization known as the Guardians experienced conflict with the Thargoids many thousands of years ago.
I have not gone to any Guardian sites yet.
Indicate that the Thargoids were the aggressor in this conflict. Having seeded Guardian space with biomechanical constructs used for resource extraction long before the emergence of the Guardian civilization, the Thargoids apparently believed they were entitled to uncontested dominion of the territory. The Guardians attempted to communicate with the Thargoids and reach a compromise, but without success. Over the course of the conflict, the Guardians developed new technologies to give them an advantage against the Thargoids. These technologies were apparently successful, forcing the Thargoids to abandon their offensive.
And we can use Guardian technology, we can unlock it.
Thargoids'
With a
agenda.
little bit of effort.
Thargoids do not attack indiscriminately, and their choice of targets shows them to be highly intelligent. They have also conducted targeted strikes on Aegis facilities and attacked pilots carrying Thargoid items in their cargo holds, indicating that they know they are being studied and want to halt the process. But despite their evident intelligence,
What am I
they
looking
appear to be
for?
completely uninterested in meaningful communication. The engineer Ramtar,
It's 'cause they see
who
us as being
extensively
below them.
researched the Guardians and their war with the Thargoids, holds the view that Thargoid aggression is a product of territorialism. They seed an area with barnacles,
That makes sense.
thus laying claim to it, and return, sometimes many centuries later, to harvest the extracted resources. Any life form advanced enough to compete with them for the territory is treated
Let's
as
see
an enemy
here.
and summarily attacked. Professor Palin concurs with this
Which
view.
basically means anything in the universe.
Thargoids are apparently so determined to eliminate any threats to their long-term survival, they will not tolerate any advanced species in close proximity.
See? Kill everybody.
The Thargoids.
Kill them all, let God sort them out.
Contact. The Thargoids are a non-human race with a history of hostility towards humanity. The first recorded encounter with a Thargoid ship took place in 2849, although earlier undocumented encounters are believed to have taken place. In the years that followed,
Which would make sense.
contact with lone Thargoid vessels was intermittently reported. Humanity clashed with the Thargoids in the 32nd century, but details of the conflict remained scarce for many years, and it proved difficult to differentiate authentic accounts of Thargoid encounters from the sensationalist media stories of the time. The discovery of abandoned intergalactic naval reserve arm bases in 3303 did much to dispel the fog, however. The INRA, a joint federal imperial initiative established in 3193, was responsible for
I'm looking
researching
for.
Thargoids and developing technologies to counter their aggression. But the organization's lack of accountability meant that the details of its research did not come to light until years after its dissolution. Almost all of the reliable data concerning the Thargoids has been sourced from INRA facilities. This data, originally deemed highly confidential, was declassified in 3304, following a resolution from the federal government and an imperial decree. Some controversy over the backing and funding of the INRA remains, however. The Thargoids Society. The INRA discovered that Thargoid society is organized into hives, with most Thargoids falling into three categories: queens. The Thargoids Society. The INRA discovered that Thargoid society is organized into
We already
hives,
listened to that one.
with most Thargoids falling into three categories: queens. The Thargoids Communication.
Ships,
The belief that
structures.
Thargoids were capable of
Yeah,
some
that's it.
form of extrasensory communication was often cited in the early years of human-Thargoid interaction.
So that's like all the Thargoid content. Well, not really. You gotta understand that by 33, by the 3300, by that era, humanity was not one civilization. They maintained multiple sub-civilizations. And even to this day, we have three major factions. We have me trying to crash my ship. The three major factions that we have are the Federation, the Empire, and the Alliance. So we have three major factions out there, and a lot of independents. And all three kind of share the inhabited globe in a tenuous peace. Now, we're supposed to have something on this planet that's biological, and I'm not seeing it, which is so interesting. So yeah, we do have an empire, or at least by name anyway, and we have the Federation. And they're always going at it, and that varies, actually. Oh, you're only 500 light years away? Oh, that's nothing. $500 light years really isn't that far, Bagron. That's a normal day in the neighborhood. When you're rolling 1,000 or 2,000 light years away, then you're getting kinda out of the neighborhood. But when you're like me, when you're like 3,000 light years out, you're way off base. And the only thing out here really is research or looking for things that have not been found. And I don't see the organics I'm looking for. Which is a shame. Because I was on one planet. I spent, God, I think close to 3 hours, 4 hours, trying to find the organic structure I was looking for. It was the first time I was tracking down algae. And the problem with that was the algae was basically the same color as the base rock. What are you flying? Megacron, what are you flying? A Diamondback or something? So you're saying the solar system is constantly being fired. Yeah, exactly. If I look at Sol here, I can pull up the power play map. It is currently being contested, and control is in Jerome Archer's hands? Are you kidding me? That's funny. Wow, by a landslide. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's nuts. He's not a normal power. That's not normal. Jerome Archer is back purple. So he's consortium, which is not normal. Oh, I need to clear that waypoint. Otherwise, it's going to screw me up. Beluga. Oh, I love belugas. Huge fan. Huge fan. Yeah, for a beluga, going 500 light years is like a burp. It really is. Belugas are actually really good at traveling like that. I love the beluga. I don't normally do long runs. I prefer doing the short hops. With a beluga... Ah, look, fungal pod. With a beluga, you should be able to do groups. So when you're looking at the passenger transport window, the upper one is groups, and the lower one is individual, like passengers for like sightseeing stuff. The sightseeing ones are good for exploration. The top ones, the group ones, those are the ones that I do. Okay, because those are usually like one hop away, so within like 20 light years. And they're good for experience, but they're also really good for fame, but for reputation. And if you're interested in influence, they're good for influence. But because you can do them so much faster, I prefer those over the other ones. But the longer ones are definitely interesting because they allow you to explore areas you would not normally go to. It all depends on what your goals are. But no, I'm a huge fan of the Beluga. Oh, were you the one who commented on the video saying that you bought a Beluga after our conversation? I just remembered I commented on a comment about that. Was that you that I was talking to? Or was that somebody else? That was you. Okay. I thought the name was familiar. I know you were in the stream at least once before. I can remember it was you that left the comment. Yeah, I've been, the Beluga is just, honestly, if you want to spend money in this game, buying a Beluga or buying a T8, you cannot go wrong with either purchase if you want to spend real money. And the reason I say that is because in both cases, you can make the 100 million, 200 million you need to be able to set up any other ship you want to pick up. So it's Consortium Drug Cartel? Honestly, I don't remember. I am going to go get a new drink in a minute. And what I'll do is I'll get back to the ship. I will go get a drink. And I will play the Consortium history while I'm gone. And then I'll catch y'all up in the history of the Consortium. And I'll go switch out my tea for a soda for the last hour. So here we go. Index. Now it's database. Consortium. And we'll add that to the playlist. But I'll also put the Empire, the Federation. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, I'll just put the introductions in there. And the Alliance introductions. So we look at the playlist, it'll have those three. Auto remove. So it doesn't automatically do it before we started playing. And I'm going to set it to play, and I'll be right back.
Records, it was not fully understood. Professor Yuri Anslow of the INRA theorized that a Thargoid queen can communicate with the drones in its hive via a spread spectrum The Consortium. The Consortium is a powerful crime syndicate specializing in blackmail, theft, and the production and trafficking of illegal drugs. Like most criminal syndicates, it is motivated principally by profit. It is highly resourceful and well organized, which has, in turn, made it extremely successful. The Consortium started life as an unruly band of brigands and thieves, no different from thousands of other criminal confederacies. But its course changed when an ambitious young rogue named Caitlin Voss took control of the group sometime in the 3120s and started aggressively expanding its operations. Voss, originally the head of a small-scale drug ring, was guided by a single principle. Criminals were, on the whole, stupid. To outmaneuver one's rivals, all one had to do was outthink them. And for Voss, gifted with a streak of cold-blooded intellect, this presented no difficulty. Propelled by Voss's ambition, the Consortium started supplanting its opponents and quickly came to dominate the smuggling and drug trafficking rackets in its particular area of space. The Consortium's rivals, unhappy at this development, arranged a conference. They extended an invitation to Voss, hoping to broker an agreement that would allow the sector's various criminal enterprises to peacefully coexist. Voss declined to attend, instead dispatching an envoy bearing a large quantity of Tarach spice as a peace offering. In truth, the cargo canisters were packed with high-yield explosives. No sooner was the bomb in place than Voss detonated it, annihilating her rivals in a single stroke. Voss had realized that her competitors, for all their brutality, were bound by a simple code of honor. To them, the use of extreme tactics such as suicide bombers was unthinkable, and that gave her a clear advantage. In the decades that followed, the consortium's expansion continued unopposed, the fear of extreme retaliation keeping rival criminal organizations in line. Indeed, potential competitors quickly realized it was smarter to side with the code
I'm back.
than against it, which allowed the organization to assimilate dozens of smaller criminal enterprises. It is not known if Caitlin Voss still controls the consortium, or even if she is still alive. Some rumors assert that she spent much of her personal fortune on progenitor cells, allowing her to artificially extend her life and maintain control of her criminal empire. Others insist that she has retired and is now living a life of quiet anonymity in a remote corner of space. Still others
London gear retracted.
claim that Voss is long dead, and the control of the consortium passed to one of her lieutenants many years ago. The truth may never be known. Efforts on the part of law enforcement to topple the consortium have been largely unsuccessful. The organization is now so large that Omnipol can do little more than chip away at the margins. Ironically, many of the organization's most senior figures are believed to have been segued into legitimate business, leading
Frameshift drive charging.
intelligence agencies to theorize that those are the
4, 3, 2, 1.
Sorry about that. I can't. It automatically does that.
may, to all outward appearance, be law-abiding citizens. Only the capture of the consortium's leader, whoever that may be, could threaten its dominion.
It's controlling the helm of the solar system
The Empire.
of humanity. It's doing a pretty good job. Yeah, no kidding.
How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. Shakespeare, Hamlet.
When our ancestors departed Earth, they asked themselves, which of our achievements represents the best of humanity, that we may bring it with us to illumine the dark?
Alright, we're done with the system.
The Federation, embroiled in a world of contracts and petty bickering, chose their constitution. They placed their trust not in man himself, but in an imperfect work of man. But
I'll pause it for those that are commercials. And we'll actually use that conversation to figure out where we want to jump next. So I'm not sure where I want to go next. I got a bunch of options. We have systems that have black holes. We have systems that have just blue giants. I think I want to go to that one that's got the 2 black holes in it. Up here. I think we'll go here. Alright, you're back. So let's put you back on play.
ancestor, your first emperor,
Well, if I do get this game, I would
he knew
not be
that
siding
the
with them.
best achievement of humanity was
Believe it or not, it's actually not that big of a deal. I think the game's still on sale.
nuclear
Hold
type
on.
of his noble DNA than in all the Federation's written text.
I think it's still on sale.
That same wisdom still guides us now. We need no dusty documents to assert our right. We are
'Cause the winter sale, I think, goes to the end of the year.
born to rule. And the universe of
And
the firm hand of our
honestly, if you have any interest in getting Elite Dangerous, and you have a PC that's capable of running it, you can get it on Steam right now, a whole game, for $9.
Equal of its historic rival in terms of scale and resources.
Now, if you want to do what Megacron's done,
Two powers
and get a kickstart,
Slavery in the empire
then you
is
actually go out buy
the fact that it remained a source of controversy since its
some
inception,
arcs
both
and
within
then
the empire
buy you a
and
ship.
without. Some
And that's like
observers have pointed
10,
out
20 bucks.
that
You can buy a
conditions
decent
for
ship.
those at the lowest levels of
I think it's like
federal
20 bucks.
society are far worse than those
Is
experienced by
you can get the
inferior
Beluga
classes.
or the T8 and start your career
The image of the empire is one of opulence.
in a good spot.
While pomp and pageantry may
Question
be
about the
normal
Federation
in
Alliance.
all
Are they
political systems,
democratic or are they
elsewhere in
more
space, we can
autocrats?
find myriad examples of deprivation and squalor. Indeed, the empire encompasses many striking.
We're currently listening to the Empire.
Sophisticated technology exists alongside an ancient Roman system of government.
After this one, we'll have the Federation and then the Alliance.
Depends on often
Frameshift drive charging.
I've already queued them up because I figured you'd ask that question.
in the wretched outer colonies. Ruthless industrial efficiency and low taxation has made the empire rich and mighty. The hierarchy of imperial society
4, 3, 2,
Though each of them have like 8 or 10 entries,
but a citizen
I just
can
put queued up the
always rise
introductions.
through the ranks if he or she becomes wealthy enough and makes the right connections. Even a slave could, in theory, become a senator. The Federation
Oh, God!
Junction
Good morning, typo.
into the
fuel scooping.
future, far as human eye could see, saw the vision of the world and all the wonder that would be. Saw the heavens fill with commerce, argosies
Really?
and magic sails, pilots of the purple twilight, dropping down with costly bales, till the war drum throbbed no
Fuel scooping complete.
longer, and the battle flags were furled in the Parliament of Man, the Federation of the World. Alfred Lord Tennyson, Locksley Hall, 1835.
How then to attempt the impossible task of summing up the Federation? We are the ones who draw the lines. Our forefathers, who lived through the bitter anguish of global wars, drew a line under them and declared, no more. We enshrined the rights of all citizens in our Constitution, underlined them, and signed. We plotted the lines that first linked the star systems, bringing humanity to the shores of new worlds, opening the way to interstellar trade. And when humanity itself, in the exuberance of youth, threatened the delicate balance of alien life, again we drew a line. Thus far let us lawfully tread, and no further.
The Federation is more like the
Isaac Gellin, Federation
Star Trek
President,
Federation of Planets,
inaugural speech,
or like the UN or something like that.
1972. The Federation is the oldest of the galaxy's 3 superpowers, a vast geopolitical entity reaching out from the core system of Sol and encompassing a broad socio-economic spectrum. Among the myriad federal star systems, one can find extraordinary wealth, vanishing poverty, and everything in between. By contrast with the Empire, which offers a social safety net in the form of state-sanctioned slavery, the poorest members of federal society have no safeguards and no way out. For them,
Notice, both
life
the
on
Empire
fleeting
and the
streets
Federation
is inescapable.
have slaves.
Between their lives and those of the super rich could not be more insurmountable. At its best, the Federation
Take that into
embodies the
consideration.
values of its founding nations: democracy, industry, and liberty. But federal society can also be competitive and unforgiving.
Yeah, liberty,
Corporations
but they
wield too much
have
power,
slaves.
Politicians are often
I love it.
corrupt, and a sink or swim ethos prevails. The Alliance. Introduction. Rise, like lions after slumber, in unvanquishable number. Shake your chains to earth, like dew which in sleep had fallen on you. Ye are many.
You don't get a
They
choice,
are
actually.
few. Percy by Shelley.
It's in general.
The Mask of Anarchy, 1819.
I've read your speech a dozen times, Mick. We can't use it. I sure we could sound off about self-rule and freedom from tyranny and the dignity of the working man/woman, and the young hotheads would lap it up like they always do. I'm not saying we don't need that stuff, but we mustn't forget it's just marketing. A shiny wrapper. It's not enough. If we're going to make the Alliance of Independent Systems happen, we need more than tub-thumping speeches from a war hero. We need to show
I
our
don't have
people
any
that this thing can work.
missions, so I can't show you how it
Spending
works.
plans, dividend forecasts, surveyors reports. I want data so dry you don't
But the
need to
way
read
it actually operates,
The people are tired and heartsick.
well, the way it actually
They've been
operates,
sold dreams to
hold that for a second, so I'm not talking over it. So the way it actually works is all minor factions are associated with either the Federation, the Empire, or the Alliance. Okay? There are no true independent factions. Even the cartel is associated, I think, with the Alliance. So everybody's associated with one of them. The individual powers, I don't think I can see them. Oh, looks like I lost my soul permit. So they pulled them. Now that the war is over. Power play? Yes. I know how power play works. So, if we look at Archer, we can see information about Archer and who he is. And who he represents. As well as all the perks for rank or whatever. However, the only one that actually matters throughout the whole universe is the Federation. Federation is the only one that actually matters, and that's because they actually have custom ships. They have special ships. So they have a Clipper, a Cutter, and a Corvette. Or something like that. There's like 3 of them, 4 of them. That actually matter. Let me see here. Somewhere I have that list of ships. Which is so much easier than trying to look up in game because I'm not at a station. But when you look at the ship list, I don't have this window available. Hold on. Let me switch to the right cap screen. Hold on, I gotta find the right window. Oop, not that window. Wrong one. Here we go. So the ships that are currently available. Let's put us in a blue. Actually, you know what? Let me put this thing on standard flight mode. That way, no matter what my controls do, it's actually okay. So the different ships that we have. Everybody starts in a Sidewinder. Doesn't matter. You can work your way up. Hauler's the first transport you can get. Hatter's not bad. It's a good mixed multi-fighter. But the Imperial Eagle, the Imperial Courier, the Imperial Dropship, or the Federation Dropship, the Alliance Chieftain, the Federation Assault Ship, the Imperial Clipper, the Alliance Crusader, the Alliance Challenger, Federal Gunship, which is Federation. Where's the others? And the Imperial Cutter and the Federal Corvette. All of those require you to have standing with the aforementioned fleet. So you have to have usually a rank with that fleet. Now, I don't have a rank with any of the fleets. I think I'm a bottom of the barrel. If I wanted the cutter, let's say, the Imperial Cutter, then I would have to come down here, and in order to obtain the Imperial Cutter, it requires me to have the rank of Duke in the Imperial Navy, which is like rank 14 of 16. I have a good reputation with all of the factions, though the Federation I have a better one with because I wanted to get the Federation Corvette. So the ship I was going after originally was this one, the Federation Corvette. This is the one that I was going to go after.
System scan complete.
So this is what I was going to go after, though you could go after the Cutter, which is also a very good ship. In fact, in some respects, the Cutter is better than the Imperial Corvette. Yeah, I'll put them side by side for a minute, so we can see here. So the Cutter has more shields and more armor, weighs more, is a bit faster. However, it doesn't have as much agility, and they both have a large landing pad, which is nice. Cutter costs more. See, this one here requires Rear Admiral. This one here requires Duke. They're the same rank. However, this one's got an 8 shield versus a 7 shield. So yeah, they're a little bigger, but it is a heavier ship. They're both flying gunboats. But most people will tell you that the Cutter is better than, or not the Cutter, but the Corvette is better than the Cutter. That's what the common consensus is, though a lot of people love both. It all depends on who you are and what you want. Now, I know a lot of people who have them, and they've gone through and just ground. They sat there and ground up one fleet, bought like 2 ships, like 2 ships of each of the specialty of the limited edition ones that you can only get from them, and then went to the other fleet and ground them up and earned rank with them up to that standing, and then bought like 2 of each, and then did it for the third faction. It's a very common thing that people who've been playing a long time do. For people who have not been playing a lot, they usually pick one, and really that's the recommendation. You want to pick not a faction. Don't care about the faction. Pick the ship you want. So you go over to, like, that was Inara, which is one of the, currently one of the best sources of information on the game. So you pick what ship you want. Like, say you want the Corvette. That's what I was starting to go after, was the Federation Corvette. And so you go after the rank and stuff to get the Corvette. Not a big deal, because that's when you want. And you pick up all the ships along the way. And once you're done with that, then they go off and do the, oh, you know what? I got my Corvette. I'm happy with it. Now I want a cutter. So they grind up the standing to become a rear admiral in the Navy so they can go get a cutter. And so on and so forth. I think personally that we need more faction-based content, in my opinion. We really do. Because there's no significant reason to do the power plays, except, you know, you want a ship. I work with all of the factions. I haven't been picking sides in their political war. Not since I've been back. Because I've been just trying to get the rank and file leveled up. For me. Black Star Radio, how are you doing today? You want a T6. Because I'm still very new. After 2 days, I can afford one. Well, the T6 actually isn't bad. I have one kit for mining. And I'm very happy with it as an early mining ship. However, you will find the T6 is very limited in its capacity. And you get the T6, get a kit out for you. But when you get the opportunity, I recommend upgrading it to a T8. Don't worry about a T7. They're worthless. They're not useful. The T8 is the one you want. And then once you get a T8, you can move lots of money around. Because at that point you can move about 400 cargo. Yeah, I think it's 380 is what mine's set up for. So you can do a lot of cargo real easy. And then when you get your T9, you can move about 750 to 780. Mine's set up for 780. But I also don't, I don't have a shield on my T9. So I use it mainly for local runs, more than going across the galaxy.
Surface scan complete.
But yeah, no, a T6 is worth getting. Don't get me wrong, I still have mine. Why? Because I do mostly courier missions. Yeah, I can do that. I can move that. Like I said, when you get your T6, make sure that when you buy any ship in Elite Dangerous, in this game, when you buy a ship, have 2 to 3 times the cost of the ship in the bank. So the T6 is 12 mil? 15 mil, I think? Or is that one 10 mil? Oh god, I don't remember the price of the T6. It's been too long. Hold that thought. Let me look it up real quick. I still have the screen, have it on my screen. The T6 is around here somewhere. Type 7. Where's the Type 6? There's the Type 6. 1 mil. I'm sorry. The Type 6 is 1 mil. 1.2. I'm thinking. Sorry, I was thinking of the 7. The 7 is. The T7 is 17 mil. Don't recommend that one at all. The Type 6 is a good ship. And then the Type 8 is 40 mil. So, with your Type 6, what you want in your bank for a Type 6 is about 10 mil. I'm not joking. You want about 10 mil in the bank. And the reason you want 10 mil in the bank is because you want to be able to buy the ship. You want to be able to buy all of the top end gear. You want to buy all the A's in the game. So your engine, your FSD, get a SCO, an SCO, FSD. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Get everything upgraded that you need to upgrade. Do not upgrade things like your sensors. You don't need to upgrade stuff like that. But you do need to have your thrusters, your power plant, your FSD, and your shields. I recommend upgrading, but don't go all out. Hold on, let me put this back on the screen. Whoops, wrong screen. That's twice I've done that. So on here, on your Type 6, this is the same for any ship. So anybody who's watching this, if you're looking at any ship, these are the standard rack layouts. So you're going to move this to a 5E. This is going to go to a 5E. This is going to go to a 4E. Okay, so these two 4Es, swap with these two. Okay. So swap this one with this one, and this one with this one. Then upgrade those 3s to 5s. This shield generator at a 3 is perfectly fine for a cargo system. Throw this out. Well, to the back. You can keep this too. Because it's already got a Super Cruise Assist. Get the auto docking computer. I recommend the advanced one because that allows you to get the dock and undock capabilities. You don't normally need the undocking one, but if you're gonna buy it, spend the extra $50. It really isn't that much. I think the regular one's like 6,000 and the upgrade one's like 12. It really isn't. It's not. It's a drop in the bucket compared to what you're dropping in this thing. But your power plant, get this up to a 4A. Thrusters, get this up to a 3A. Max these out. Get these all to A's. Life support, leave it. Don't bother with that. Sensors, leave it. Don't bother with that. Though you can upgrade sensors to a D, because the D is actually the same as an E, except it's lighter. So if you want to save some weight on your build, you can do that. And aside from that, the weapon mounts, don't worry about it unless you're doing a mining ship. If for the utility mounts, again, don't worry about these. The only thing that you might want to put on there is like a chaff. You put a chaff on there. That's a maybe type thing. But honestly, I leave these blank on transports. There's no reason to have them on a transport. They're just extra weight that slow you down. So, if that makes sense, and that will cost you around 5 to 7 mil total to max all that stuff out. including the cost of the ship. And that leaves you a couple of mil left over for either doing your cargo runs. So when you gotta buy cargo or whatever. Does that make sense? Honestly, it's a waste of space. As long as you're not playing on the open server, it's a waste of space. You don't need the wait. If you're a halfway decent pilot in this game, you can avoid interdiction. And as long as you can avoid interdiction, you're usually okay. You don't need point defense. You don't really need chaff. I've rarely been caught and not been able to get away before they broke my shields. Now, if you're running into a problem where you need more of that, or you actually need more defense, then yeah, buy a chaff, buy a point defense, buy those types of components. You could swap your shield up a grade. So instead of being a 3, swap it to one of the 4 slots. You lose cargo, but you gain more shield. So if you're having that problem where you're getting raided a lot, then go with the 4 shield. You go with that slightly larger shield. But make sure you have enough money in the bank to be able to buy the A's for everything, and you'll have a lot less issues. And it doesn't matter what craft you're doing. I outfit my Type 9 the other day. I bought a Type 9. I'd never owned one before. And I bought a Type 9, and my Type 9, I had in the bank 300,000. I'm sorry, 300 million in the bank when I outfit it. In the end, it cost me about 160 in order to outfit it. It was really expensive. But I bought a SCO hyperspace. I bought a SCO FSD. Have a good night, 22. And I bought literally everything top shelf. Except the shield. I threw the shield out because I wanted the cargo space. And we're done with the system. Yay, we're done! Alright, what's next? I've got 2 down here. Yeah, let's go there.
Frameshift drive charging.
We'll go to that one. Black holes are worth lots of money, so. And this area's got a ton of black holes in it, so we'll map them out. And work our way through the system.
4,
And see what we got left in here.
2, 1, engage.
So how are you enjoying Elite Dangerous? You having fun with it? I mean, you must be enjoying it if you're already up to a couple mil in the bank. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I forgot. Everything comes in on these bow stars. 23. Oh, we'll be here a while. What's this? Ah, maybe not. What the hell? What is this? What is this? What is this? Oh my god. Okay, so we have a Class O blue giant with a companion star of a black hole that has a T-Tauri yellow star with a yellow star with a brown dwarf companion. 2, oh my god, 2 of those. What? I've been playing about 3 days. Good. I'm glad you're happy with it. Let me get away from this star a little bit. Pointing the wrong direction. Alright, let's go back to our map. We have an atmospheric planet that we cannot land on. That is a Atari, but it's gonna be a M class. Nice. There's an H class, or K, I think. Another planet with another, looks like an M with a planet. That's a K or a G. I think it's a G. Couple more planets. This one's at least heavy metal. I think this one might have an ocean. Ice, rock, that one might be heavy metal. Here's another M. I don't know what you are. Jeez. How many stars are in this system? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 15 suns in this system. And the weird part is, they're really close together. 4,000 light seconds to the farthest one from the bow. Now, these are 130,000 light seconds, so that's way out there. But this one's only 4,000 seconds, which is about 1 light hour. So the closest one is 10 minutes. So bit past Earth's orbit. So Mars' orbit. So this is in the orbit of Mars. And this one here is out at an hour and a half. So Neptune, Uranus, somewhere around there. And all of these stars are between the Sun and Neptune. I don't think they'd physically fit. In reality, I really don't think all those stars would physically be able to fit. But hey, they're gonna try. Oh man.
Fuel scooping.
This is
Fuel scooping complete.
bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Well, once you get yourself settled in the game and you get a little farther up, there are communities out there, like Pilots Trader Network, or PTN, that have large groups of people. I think PTN is around 1,000 or 2,000 active members. Or well, 1 or 2,000 members. I don't know if they're all active or not. And they do a lot of activities to help you make money. They do activities to help you understand the game. You got questions, you can always ask them. That kind of stuff. And there's a bunch of groups like that out there for when you're ready to go beyond the normal game, the normal basic gameplay. Now, I'm not saying that you should jump out and have a goal of buying yourself a carrier or try to get yourself the vast quantities of goods required and money required to be able to buy a star system the day it comes out. You know, I'm not saying that those aren't great goals, but do you enjoy the game? Get involved with groups that can help you, like you know, asking me questions.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Yeah, it's that gets you much farther than just trying to figure the game out by yourself. It's not that Elite Dangerous is hard or complicated. Okay, far from it. The game is very easy to get into. The problem is it is very in-depth in certain areas. So it's highly recommended that you find, you know, a group of people that actually know the game and can help you out when you have questions. But if you know what you want to do with your life, if you want to do trading or you want to do combat or whatever, then knowing what you want to work with is great. So like the T6, it's a good ship. Don't get me wrong, I still use one for mining. And I have a T8 that I'm now going to convert to a mining ship to replace my T6. Not that I'm going to sell my T6. I'm going to keep it. But I'm going to swap it out. If you're looking just to, you know, any ship that's in that under that 1 million range that you have, unless you have nostalgia with it, or you just want to be a ship collector, there's no point in keeping them. But doing trade routes, doing passenger routes, which is what, I don't know if Megatron's still in the room, but that's what we were talking about earlier, is he's doing passenger runs in a Beluga that he bought off the ARC store. Doing stuff like that will make you a lot of money, and you don't need to buy a Beluga. You can actually take the Type 6, swap out those cargo holds for business class, and you can get somewhere around I think 30 or so. So, I mean, no, not 20 or so, I guess. Yep, oh, that's cool. But you can get around, I think, the 20 mark? Let me think. Business class on a 3 is 3 people, and a 4 is 6. Don't worry about first class. So if you're looking at that, then you can do inside of your Type 6, you have 2 5s and 2 4s to work with. So if you want to do people, 2 5s and 2 4s, that's pretty good. You're looking at, I'd say comfortably around 30 to 40 business passengers. Which actually allows you to do many of the passenger quests, if you want to do passenger quests. But if you're doing cargo, it's still a good setup, because you're looking at, what is it, like 120, 130 tons to work with, which is still really nice. It's actually a really good ship, all things considered. But, you know, it depends what you want to do. I think I finally found the spot that's, there it is. Alright, here we go. Here's my 10%. Now, I own a Mandy, which came from the ARC store for exploration. And
Scan complete.
you don't have to buy anything off the ARC store. Don't believe the hype. You can do it all by yourself. But there are certain ways that you'll get there faster. So if you want to get there faster, honestly, the fastest way I found to make money early in the game without going through a player group, like the Trade Network or whatever, in order to make money that way, is through passenger cargoes, which is something that Megatron's currently doing. That's my recommendation. Passenger cargoes, you can get anywhere between $500,000 and $1 million per run with just 20 or 30 business class. Your Type 6 would pay for itself literally in about 3 hours. Within 3 hours, you'd have your thing completely paid off, and you'd be looking down at what I want to buy next. How much do I need to buy the next ship that I want? So one thing this game has in spades is that once things start rolling for you, it doesn't stop. Once you figure out how to make good money and how to get your factions up and whatnot, once you get that in your head, it's easy. It is super easy. But yeah, if you have any questions, just ask. Because there's some really good tips and tricks for some early stuff that I know without going to, like, player networks and going through them to get all your information. Early tips and tricks is the hard part. Getting you to your first, like, Type 6 or your first ASP Explorer or your ASP Scout or your ASP Explorer or whatever. Getting to the first good ship that you own. That's the trick. That's always the trick. It's getting that first good ship. This is...
Scanned by 50%.
I don't know how good this is going to be. Let's see. This has got an 8 impact optimized scanner or less, which means you can do it in about 6. Really? I was off by a couple kilometers. Thanks. Just thanks. Oh, you. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna have to figure out where I have a hole that's the size of Toledo. That's just the way it is. Now, if you want to do interesting things like exploration, for instance, you can do exploration in something as small as a Diamondback Explorer. I wouldn't go any smaller than a Diamondback. I used an ASP Scout for the longest time. Though the Scout's more of a combat ship than an exploration craft. Whereas the Explorer is has all the size capabilities to do a good exploration craft. It's got the bigger FSD. It's got, you know, bigger engines and stuff,
Surface scan complete.
which makes it easier for exploration. But I said I did it in a scout for a long time, and that setup is about 25 mil, I guess. Somewhere around there, I think. It's around 25 mil. Now the Beluga that I have and that you can buy on the market for like $20, that Beluga, when set up, is I think 250. I think it's about 250 mil to buy that outright, and most of that is your first class cabin. You know, I'm sorry, your luxury cabins, because they're like right at the back. Yeah, about 250. Because the first class cabins, I think, are 25 mil a piece for the luxury cabins. I think that's what they are. They're insanely expensive, and you have 4 of them. I priced them out because I was thinking about doing a second Beluga that was designed for like bulk cargo, like how many people can I fit in the can type Beluga. Not necessarily doing economy, but doing like business across all the seats, or doing maybe first class, downgrading the luxuries to first class, maybe, just so I can fit more butts in seats. I was kind of pricing it out. Haven't done it yet, but still thinking about it. The other thing you can do is like a Dolphin, if you want to do like a high speed human transport. It doesn't have the capacity of a Beluga naturally, but it does have, it is faster, it's smaller, so you can go to more ports. And, if set up right, I don't think it can overheat. It's supposed to be one of the hardest ships to overheat without using heat sinks. It's kind of crazy. We're not going to finish this system tonight on stream. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still have 6 planets to scan. Hi, sun. That was a little close. We kind of skimmed that. That was a bit much. So yeah. But so the question is, what other questions do you have before I have to bugger off for the night? And I will be back on tomorrow as well. Same time. 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'll be online. And you can always send me a message. Not a big deal. I'm available over on Twitter and Blue Sky, depending on where you decide to live. This ought to be entertaining. Alright. So that's what 4 looks like, huh? So if we drop one there, and there, should be okay. The question is, where do I have to drop the next one? Beautiful.
Scanned by 50%.
Ah, I screwed that up. That stunk a little. But it's okay. There's also engineering upgrades that you can look into that allow you to do things like increase the range of your FSD. So you can jump for that. That's what I have on this ship. So that I can actually... the stock FSD on A with this configuration is around 35 light years. But by using the engineering upgrades, I'm up to 45 light years. So with a little more tweaking, a little more work, I think it goes up to like 60. But if you're doing cargo transports, you don't necessarily need jump range, though that does help. I could be wrong. What you actually want is like maybe speed of activation, not just range. But you only get one engineering, so there is that. You have to take that into consideration, that you only have one. So you get like the extra speed or the extra range. So it's a thing. Once you get an idea of what your build's gonna look like, you'll be fine. It's fairly easy to deal with. You just gotta know what you're looking for and what you want to do. For the case of moving people, I highly recommend range. Well, actually, for moving people, I don't necessarily recommend any of it.
Scan complete.
Because what I would recommend focusing on is your thrusters. Your atmospheric thruster, your engines and thrusters. Mainly because you don't need FSD at all. You don't need to focus on upgrading the range or anything like that. Because most of the money is on short hauls, so within like 10 light year, 15 light year jumps. And you don't necessarily need activation time, though that would be useful. I think activation time might be the only one that's actually useful out of the FSD. For stuff like that. Now, I will say this, if you're doing freight, getting the one that allows you to go faster, one that is acceleration, that's the one I would recommend for cargo ships. Look into the acceleration one. It's also recommended for if you're doing exploration, because some exploration ports are really far out there. But unfortunately, the biggest problem you have in exploration is jump range. Like, I could not have done the path I did to get here without an upgraded jump range. Like, as an example, hold on. I went from the core to here, and then to here. Just kind of like did this number. This is a different route that I did. I went up this way, went down, and came back. But in this case, I came out this way, came over to here, came around to here, and then kind of lollygagged around this way. Yeah, it's like about like this. on this arc. Down to here. And I'm currently here. I don't know what my next stop is. I haven't decided. I might go home when I'm done here. I'm done exploring this particular area of space. I might not. I don't know. New astronomical body discovered. Non-terraformable discovered codex entry. So I caught a new one. I don't have a quick codex button, unfortunately. Not the biologicals. Let's see here. Gas giants. Said non-terraformable. Hold on. What is in the system? What are we looking at? So we are here. This is a high metal planet. It's a high metal planet with a metallic core, and it was a non-terraformable with atmosphere. Which is kind of interesting. It's a silicate vapor atmosphere. Oh, so this is a silicon-based atmosphere. Not necessarily good for anything of value, but hey. It is what it is. 10 probes, that's a big rocky planet. It is a big rock ball. We're gonna get 13%. That looks way more than 13%. That looks way more than 13%. That's almost pole to pole. Yep. Put one there. Put one there. And we'll see where this falls out. Thank you.
Surface scanned by 50.
That should take care of that. That was beautiful. Well timed, well placed. Hopefully this one didn't go too far. And I'll cover up all of this. Now, the one thing I need to do for this ship is improve my probes. So that my probes scan more of the planet's surface in each go. That's what I need to focus on. Really? Trust me, I don't really care about efficiency. I really don't. I just want to finish these things. When I can get them efficient, great. You get extra money for that. It's always nice when you can do it efficiently because you get extra. They give you extra rewards for doing so. But often when you get past about 6 or 7 probes, I'm terrible at it. absolutely terrible. That's gonna come shorter than I want. Wow. Well, actually, you know what? Hit it back. That might actually be where I want it. Because if it hits close enough down, should come up and cover that little burp. It's gonna be like 11 probes. Now there is a point where it just gives up. I think with the target's like 10 probes.
Surface scan complete.
Oh, I got it. I got it in 10 probes. Even though I shot 11. I guess that works. Well, that's it for today. I will continue my explorations in this particular nebula over the next couple of days. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter or Blue Sky or on YouTube. You can do that as well. And I will get back to you as soon as I see your message. So thank you for dropping in and have a good night. Good luck exploring.